Are you serious? Are you serious? Folks, we're finding out now that almost all the Muslim militant fighting that's going on in Iraq are being done by Iranians. You heard me right, Iranians. The same Iranians that we just signed a 6 superpower Iranian nuke deal to allow them to have capability of nuclear weapons. Are you serious? What is going on here? Listen to this. But a senior researcher in Iraq has claimed that 90% of all the militants fighting in the country are Iranian. Dr. Yahya El-Kubusi of the Iraqi Center for Strategic Studies made his claim at a conference in Amman, Jordan, and pointed out that Iran is one of the parties involved in the Iraqi crisis. In a paper delivered on Sunday during the Jordan in a Changing Regional Environmental Scenario of the Next Stage conference, El-Kubusi added that Iraq is suffering from corruption in the judiciary and among those who dominate the executive. In the workshop devoted to the Iraqi crisis and the future of Jordan in light of the regional situation, he insisted that the international and regional communities must intervene to restructure the political regime in Iraq. ISIS has turned the conflict from an internal affair into a regional crisis, he explained. The militant group, he believes, is the product of the political crisis in Iraq. Now, during the conference, which was organized by the Quds Center for Political Studies, Dr. El-Kubusi said that Jordan has a problem in determining the nature of its relationship with Iraq. In his contribution to the discussion, Iraqi political analyst and researcher Dr. Haider Saeed said that the division of Iraq is not in the interests of anyone and is not raised in talks. So what we have here now is Iraq is a wild, wild west. ISIS is destroying the country, both Iraq and Syria, and they're doing it, first of all, with U.S. guns and tanks and armored vehicles and rockets and everything they needed. First being funded by the U.S. because we left it there and they picked it up and used it to slaughter the innocent civilians and Christians of Iraq. But also now the Iranians are over there helping take Iraq and helping take Syria. So this is how weird this thing has gotten, folks, and how horrific and how out of control the Middle East really is. Pray very hard for innocent civilians and a lot of Christians being slaughtered there by these demons, these latter-day Nephilims, these demonic entities of Satan who are doing nothing but killing, stealing, and destroying. Just like Jesus said when he said, the thief cometh not but for to kill, steal, and destroy. But Jesus come to give you life and give it to you more abundantly. Are you saved? Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're running out of time. These guys are radicalized for Allah. Yes, are you serious, folks? Protest violence erupting outside the Ukraine Parliament building in the capital of Kiev. 1 policeman is dead, 100 people injured as protesters came crashing into the parliament on the steps, and a hand grenade was thrown, then tear gas, pepper spray, the billy clubs come out, and it got real ugly. And what's happening here is that the people of Ukraine are upset that the eastern Ukraine is considering leaving. And it's starting to get ugly. And there's some speculation that Russia may have planted some Russian separatists into the crowd to create the turmoil. We've seen this before, and create an instability in the capital, while at the same time Putin has moved in a lot of his own troops and tanks and all kinds of artillery and heavy armor all along the border on the eastern border of Ukraine. And there's rumors are that they're going to hold a vote, that they're going to schedule a vote to whether they're going to stay in Ukraine or leave. And it's under the heavy-handedness of Vladimir Putin. So as this goes on in Russia, and at the same time, the Ukrainian government has been corrupt for a long time. The people are sick of the leadership there. That's why they got rid of the last president. And now President Poroshenko, he's looking for help from the NATO countries, from the West, but the West has got its own issues everywhere. So, wow, are you serious? Breaking news, of course, taking place right now. A real unstable situation in Ukraine. 1 dead, 1 police officer dead, 100 injured. And we'll just have to see what happens through the night in Ukraine. Pray for the peace there. We really don't need this happening right now. Oh, my Lord, have mercy. Give your life to Jesus Christ. The Bible said there'd be wars and rumors of wars. And we are seeing it, and there's no question about it. Serious? Are you serious? Are you concerned about the CERN? Well, it has shut down. I repeat, the CERN has shut down. No beam. And there you see the date. It is already September the 1st, 2015 in Geneva, Switzerland. This could be a September to remember. Matter of fact, I received this information just moments ago. Michael Murphy, who keeps a close eye on this, on the CERN, getting this information to me. There you see the link status of the beam, the global beam permit, the setup beam, the beam presence, the movable device allowed in, the stable beam, all on false. Matter of fact, over here, if you read the statistics, it says comments as of August 31st, 2015, in Geneva, there was a technical stop. I repeat, a technical stop. Something went wrong. Now, actually, Michael Murphy told me he had been watching it all day. They had been running the CERN wide open, not all the way to 99.9% of the speed of light, but running at very high temperatures all day for hours. But now they have put it, it's at a stop. The CERN is down. The CERN is down. A stop. Shut down. No beam. Shut down. No beam. September 1st, 2015. First day of the September to remember. And already we have riots going on in Ukraine in front of the parliament. 1 dead, 100 injured. We have already a 3rd chemical plant explosion in the early morning hours of September 1st in China. Again, massive explosion. And the CERN has shut down. What have we learned from the CERN? Did it turn, and has it burned? Well, we'll continue to keep an eye on what's going on. In I told you, this is a September to remember. And we don't know exactly what's going to happen. Everything that we've been looking to may not be what actually takes place. But we know one thing. Rosh Hashanah, Feast of Trumpets, the Day of Atonement, there's no question. The Feast of Tabernacles, the UN General Assembly, the Pope's visit to America, the Pope at the White House, the Pope addressing Congress, the Pope addressing the United Nations, the Hajj in Mecca. There's just so much. The Ukraine, Russia crisis. There's just the Iranian nuke deal. Will it be ratified? I mean, are you serious? Madonna and her desecration of the bride and the arrival of the fallen angel tour. Are you serious? It just keeps going on. the fourth blood moon, a super blood moon, visible not only from the East Coast, but from the streets of Jerusalem. Pray, folks, and give your life to Jesus Christ. What happened at the CERN? Serious? Are you serious? Folks, there's been a massive explosion at another chemical plant in China. Now, reports coming out of Beijing, China, that an explosion shook a chemical plant in the eastern Chinese province of Shandong. According to media reports, there's no immediate reports of injuries or casualties, but of course it just happened about 3 hours ago. Now remember, about 2 weeks ago, there was an explosion at a chemical plant that killed 145 people and put 700 people in the hospital, and there's still about 60 people missing. So, and then there was another chemical plant explosion about a week ago that killed, I believe, 1 and maybe injured 9. And now we have this massive, mammoth explosion again in China. Now remember, Japan has had 2 explosions also in the last week. And Houston, Texas had a massive chemical plant explosion 2 weeks ago. And Terre Haute, Indiana had a chemical spill that put 15 people in the hospital 2 weeks ago. And Russia had a chemical plant explosion and fire 2 weeks ago. So, are you serious? What is going on with this? Now, reports are everywhere, of course, that this thing could have been deadly, and the casualties and we don't know. We have nothing confirmed other than what you see in front of you, a picture of the blast. But something is going on with the chemical plants. This is chemical plant number 3 in China, and it continues to go on. So pray one for another. We're truly living in the last days. Perilous times are upon us. Catastrophic events, cataclysmic it may be, apocalyptic in some cases. So certainly we're living in very dangerous times because we are in the last days. Give your life to Jesus Christ. This is going to be a September to remember. Matter of fact, this blast took place in the early morning hours, Tuesday, September 1st. We'll continue to keep a close eye on the events going on around the world and how they relate to Bible prophecy. Jesus is coming soon. Are you serious? Are you serious? All right, so President Barack Obama has decided to rename a mountain. I mean, he hasn't got nothing better to do. There's no problems in America that the President of the United States really needs to focus on. I mean, there isn't really anything that needs to be dealt with. He needs to go to Alaska and rename a mountain. And a mountain, it's not just any mountain. It's the tallest peak in all of North America, and it's named after a former president of the United States who had been assassinated, the 29th president of the United States, who was assassinated, President McKinley, and this mountain was named after him. He's of course, the president. He was from Ohio, and right now, Ohio lawmakers reacted angrily yesterday to the White House's announcement that President Obama would formally rename Alaska's Mount McKinley. And even though it's North America's highest peak, he wants to rename it Mount Denali, which is a Indian name for the Great High One. All right. Now, Mount McKinley has held the name of our nation's 25th president for over 100 years. And so Bob Gibbs, a Republican of Ohio, said in a statement, "This landmark is a testament to his countless years of service to our country." Gibbs also described that Obama's action as constitutional overreach, saying that an act of Congress was required to rename this mountain because a law formally naming it after Ohio's president, William McKinley, was passed in 1917. This political stunt is insulting to all people of Ohio, and I'll be working with the House Committee on Natural Resources to determine what can be done to prevent this action. The Ohio delegation's disappointment at the decision cuts across party lines. We must retain this national landmark and its name in order to honor the legacy of this great American president, a patriot. And so even Democrat Tim Ryan of Ohio, whose district includes McKinley's hometown of Niles, Ohio, is upset. Senator Rob Portman of Ohio, a Republican, blasted the decision as yet another example of President Obama going around Congress. And White House Speaker, the Speaker of the House, John Boehner, said that the naming of the mountain after McKinley was a testament to the 25th president's great legacy. I am deeply disappointed in this decision. But see, Obama doesn't care about historical American facts. He never did love America. He never did like America. He's constantly trashed America. And if you go take a look at the core curriculum right now being taught in your public schools, it's literally void of history. No references. They don't even try to teach American history to the children. And Obama has constantly removed our heritages. He's destroying our culture. He's destroying our landmarks. He's destroying our spirituality. He is literally changing everything that has been the norm, has been the culture, has been the patriotic feelings of this nation. This is unreal. What arrogancy to go and rename the mountain and strip it from a former president who was assassinated in the White House. It's just insane to me. It's just insane. Are you serious? Are you serious? As I was saying earlier, and I promised to show you a copy of the book, but this is the new book coming out, being published by Rabbi Yehudah Glick, Arise and Ascend. And there he is pictured with Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, who's endorsed this book. Now, this is the first ever book that is a guidebook to the Temple Mount. Of course, Rabbi Yehudah Glick's Temple Mount Advocacy Organization, the Temple Mount Heritage Foundation, has recently launched this book. It's being published, and the book called Arise and Ascend was written and produced and being published by the Temple Mount Heritage Foundation. Of course, Yehudah Glick is leading the way. He has the endorsement of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and because of the nature of this site, and you know, you think about Benjamin Netanyahu, he is a guy that has always, stayed focused really on the peace of Jerusalem and the heritage of Israel, obviously, and because of the nature of the site, this controversial history that's led to this tense state of affairs, folks. Which the Jewish and Christian visitors are nearly constantly harassed and threatened by Muslim agitators. The Temple Mount is not always a tourist-friendly place, and there are no helpful pamphlets handed out at the entrance, no informative signs on the buildings that feature the Temple Mount, and without an expert guide, visitors are often unable to truly grasp the spiritual and historical importance of the Temple Mount. So the creators of Arise and Ascend are hopeful that the book will fill this need. All right, so Dr. Mir and Topoliski, who wrote the book, and it's being published by Yehudah Glick. endorsed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and many others. So again, I will be interviewing Yehudah Glick in a few weeks, and I will sit down with him in Jerusalem, and I will interview him. This is going to be a two-part television series. It's going to be a two-part television show that will air on DirecTV channel 367 and Dish Network channel 217 on Friday nights. Every Friday night I'm on, and it will be airing on those two networks, LaCie Broadcasting Network, as well as on channel 18 Chicago Gary and channel 40 Indianapolis, Indiana. So we'll let you know more about when those will air. It'll be a two-part interview, two television shows interviewing Rabbi Yehudah Glick in Jerusalem about the Temple Mount and the building of the third temple. All right? So I wanted to get you up to speed on this. Again, shalom, shalom. We pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Time is running out.